Hey gang, Freedom Chef here. I'm wearing the jersey today. Liberal Democrats, the only political party that stands by its principles no matter what. The last few days, Victoria particularly has been fucking mental, completely outrageous, and I'm seething. But what I also am is I'm really, really proud of our two MLCs, Tim Quilty and Dave Limbrick, put in a great fight up against this totalitarian rubbish from Dan Andrews and his other communist comrades. Anyone who hasn't seen their videos of their speeches in Parliament needs to get on and do that. Check those two men out because there's bugger all principle left in politics in Australia. We need principle. Everybody keeps crapping on about it. Australians for years, oh, wear this, wear that. Most of it's bullshit and you're blowing wind up your own backsides unless you support these two gentlemen. I've been a supporter of David Leyonhjelm for many years. I've been involved in the party for many years. Dog's body candidate, general all-round troublemaker and shit stirrer and hard-working beast for the cause of liberty. Aaron Stonehouse is doing a great job in WA fighting for our freedoms, your freedoms, my freedoms, everybody's freedoms. And somehow in amongst all this, we have this sort of nonsense going on whereby that lunatic Dan Andrews and his team have another 6 months. Now, don't get excited. Oh, well, you know, the federal government are against it, Liberal Party are against it. Liberal Party are the federal government. If they don't pull this psycho into line, right, they're going, oh, it's all ass covering. The whole lot's ass covering of it. No respect for any of these donkeys. They are complete lunatics. They're loving it. They're just happy to let Dan and his crew lead the charge, so to speak. I'm raging, but I tell you what, I'm sitting here looking at the work that those two men did there in Parliament down there the other day. I was really, really proud to have been a supporter of theirs. I was proud to be a member of this party, the only party that lives by its principles. Dave Limbrick said it in his speech. We're not worried about votes. We're not here to kiss ass and carry on. We have a code of ethics. Not everybody agrees with everything we agree with, and that's fine. But we respect your right to disagree with us. We respect your right to have your own opinions, your own views, and to take action accordingly. So David and Tim, I'm pretty confident I'm speaking for many, many Liberal Democrat members when I come out with this stuff. Thank you for your bravery, because it does take great courage in the face of this sort of adversity and this sort of pushback. You know, during Tim's speech, you could hear the monkeys in the chamber laughing and, you know, carrying on. Complete disrespect. These characters seem to think the government is the only way. I have a completely different take on it. As far as I'm concerned, the government is the cause of 90% of these problems. And I think 90 is probably me being a little bit generous, right? They're talking about now, I mean, we saw, I don't know if you've seen the video of the mother arrested for incitement on Facebook. Thanos, a guy I've had on Resolute TV, arrested for incitement. Let me tell you where the incitement comes from. The incitement comes from our politicians, all of them. I don't care what state you're in, all of them, feeding this bullshit beast. Now, I'm not saying COVID doesn't exist. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I definitely don't trust your asses. Now, that's very different. Huh? Here we are. Our politicians are feeding the beast. They're wheeling out whichever, you know, $500,000-$600,000 a year doctor to tell us all to be terrified and dob your neighbour in and wear a mask and don't wear a mask and we can't make up our bloody mind. And then, to follow that up, we've got mainstream media. If you turn that shit on and see anything other than panic and COVID, panic, the government, somebody did this, oh, we're all going to die, it's complete overcooked bullshit, right? Again, the actual virus, I'm not saying it's bullshit. Some of the effects, there are people who are, yes, clearly dying from a virus. People have been dying from viruses, various capacities for centuries. This is nothing new. They're painting it like it is. And then the other thing that's totally out of control, and that is incitement, is our military and our police being used as Gestapo for these lunatics. Right now, I've always had the greatest respect for police and military. My brother served. You know, I've got cousins and relatives and friends who have served as police officers and military. I get them, and I know they're all good people. But if you guys are going to sit there and put up your hands and go, oh, I was just doing my job. If any of you think that it's all right to go into somebody's house over a fucking Facebook post, yes, I use the F word because I'm not doing this there's no money in it for me, so I don't care. I'll just say it like I said. If you go into a person's house for a Facebook post and arrest them, you are a totalitarian. That is bullshit, right? You can post whatever you want. I know we don't have free speech the way the Americans do. We bloody well should, right? But the fact that we're wasting police resources, i.e. taxpayer resources, take the dollars from the worker, the producer, the business, try and cripple them to fund this sort of bullshit, right? There's pedophile rings. They're having a fantastic time running around, raping and pillaging and, violating non-consenting adults. They're called children, right? We're not going on a mission to get them. There was one the other day, though, to those guys' good credit. But, we've got time to go around and watch Facebook all day to see who's inciting rebellion. Well, Australia needs all the bloody rebellion it can get because this is so far out of control it's not funny. I'm not going to stand for it. I'm going to stand with the Liberal Democrats, as I always have. I'm going to stand with Dave Limbrick, Tim Quilty, Aaron Stonehouse, and anybody else who stands up against this totalitarian nonsense. And anybody in the Liberal Party goes, oh, well, we sort of agree. Lace your boots, jump on board and stand up. And anybody in the Labor Party who's starting to go, oh, shit, this is getting a little bit out of control. Because I'm sure there is. There has to be somebody on that side of politics who's going, yeah, come on, guys, we're sort of starting to get really, really, out of control here. Any of you guys, all of you guys need to come together. You need to stand up. And we need to say to these lunatics. And Dan Andrews is only the figurehead. Let's not think for a minute that he's actually making all these decisions on his own. He's not that clever. We need to unite. We need to work with the people. Now, and what I have noticed is all these people in these lockdown groups and they, that are talking about the peaceful protests. And they are peaceful protests. Black Lives Matter was just as peaceful and was okay. So, you hypocrites. We all need to unite. You know what? There are raging lunatic left. Somebody accused me of being a vegan the other day because I don't agree with the lockdowns. No. And you know what? I don't care. I mean, I take the piss out of vegans. I've been a chef for 20 years. Taking the piss out of vegans is something we do. It's a sport. But a vegan activist is currently associated with a libertarian who is currently associated with somebody who's a conservative Christian, who's whatever. Because at the end of the day, the lockdowns, the totalitarianism is wrong. Right wing of politics, left wing of politics, that paradigm is dead in the water. The only thing that matters now, or the only thing that is valid, that is valid now, is authoritarian, totalitarian versus the freedoms and liberties of the Australian people. And don't worry, we're being laughed at around the world. So guys, lace your boots. On Saturday, go nuts. Go and march in your capital cities. Do it safely. Do not be violent, right? Don't be violent. Just go out, stand your ground. We're entitled to stand our ground. The Eureka Stockade. We have a proud tradition of at least having some courage to stand for the things we believe in. We seem to have lost that, and it's time to get it back. So, guys, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to the Liberal Democrats MLCs for being consistent and principled. Everybody else, it's time to wake up. It's time to stand for the things we believe in. Freedom, liberty, and on you go.